Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and specifically the Sliced Sudoku Puzzle Pack. This is a sandwich Sudoku pack, and a whole bunch of puzzles have been created for this pack, and this one is Starter Course by FullDeck and Missing a Few Cards. This should be one of the first puzzles we see in the pack. I'm recording these in a semi-random order, but they will be placed into the playlist as well as into the pack in an order of approximate difficulty. So I'm not sure where you're seeing this one, but my understanding is this should come fairly early in the list. So let's have a look at how this one works. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have the sandwich constraint, which is the clues outside the grid, and they give the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So for example, in this row, we've got a 4, so there will be digits summing to 4, or digits summing to 4 between the 1 and the 9 in this row. In this column, there will be digits summing to 26 between the 1 or the 9 in this column. And then we've got cages. So digits in cages may not repeat. They couldn't in this anyway. Must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So these 2 digits must sum to 3. These 2 digits must sum to 11. These 3 digits must sum to 15. They're all of the rules. Now, below you will find a link to this puzzle, and you'll also find a link to where you can get the whole pack. But I will be releasing a video a day, hopefully, with for the release of the pack. So let's restart the puzzle to restart the timer. Let's give this a shot. So there's a couple of obvious starts here. So the 3 cage, the minimum 2 digits we can put into a 3 cage are 1 and 2, and they sum to 3. So these must be 1 and 2. Now, I'm wondering if that's going to interact with the 32 cage, because one of the things that's important for sandwich Sudoku is the fact that an entire row of a Sudoku contains all of the digits from 1 to 9. Now, if you add the digits 1 to 9, you get to 45. Now, the 45 includes the 1 and the 9. If you don't use the 1 and the 9, then they sum to 10. So the maximum you can have for a sandwich sum is, if the 1 and the 9 were on the very outside, it would be 35. Now, there's no 35s in this, but if these were so the 1 and the 9 can't go on the outside, but that means there is a 3, or digit summing to 3 outside the bounds of the 1 and the 9. And the only way to do 3, because you can't use the 1, is with a single 3. So I can't put the 1 and the 9 here. So this couldn't be 9, 1 with the 3 here, because this can't be a 1 or a 9. And there must be a single digit outside the 1 and the 9, because which is a 3. So this must be the 1 and this must be the 9. And that may be a little tricky to see if you've never seen it before. But because I must have only a single digit outside the 1 and the 9, and that digit must be a 3, where can I put the 3 in the row? It has to be there. So this becomes the 3. Now, I normally use raise a glass to freedom. So that must be the 3. 3 plus 8, which is also not a sandwich digit. But that means this must be the 1, this must be the 2, because this must be the 9. And I use 9 as the sandwich digits. And these are not. These are the digits that are between. So these will be all of the digits except 1, 3, and 9, and you'll find that those sum to the 32. And the way you think about that is the 1 and the 9 contribute 10, the others have to sum to 35, and the 32 plus the 3 is the 35. Now, this is not a digit. Now, okay, we can look at this column. How do we get to 28? There must be 2 digits, or there must be digits outside of the sandwich that sums to 7, because 35, which is what the important number we're aiming for, it's 35 minus 7 to get to 28. Now, I can't use a single 7 because I can't put a 7 in a 6 cage. And I can't use a 3-cell 7 sum because a 3-cell 7 sum would require me to use a 1. It has to be, because the minimum 3 cells can be, even if I don't use 2, 3, or 4, if there was a 2 available, would be 2, 3, 4, which is 9. So it's a 2-cell 7 sum, and then this must be the 9. And how do I do 7? Well, I can't use 1, 6 or 2, 5. This has to be 3, 4. And these are all part of the 28 clue. This is very cool. Now, this is the 9. This is another 28 clue, but this one could be a single 7. So this is a 1 or a 2 cell clue. So the 1 must be in one of those two, and these must all be part of the 28 because I must have a 1 or a 2 cell 7 clue outside of the bounds of the... The other way to look at that is what's the minimum number of digits I need to get to 28. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well, if I did it in 4, the maximum would be 8, 7, 6, 5. 8, 7, 6, and 5 is 8 and 7 is 15. 6 and 5 is 11. That only gets me to 26. So I need at least 5 digits. This can't be a 3. If this was a 3, this would also have to be a 3. So this is a 4 and a 2, and that's a 3. The 2 is absolutely not a bread digit. How can I do this 8 now? If it's 1, 7, it's 1 and 7. It can't be 2, 6. It could be 3, 5. I don't think that's helping me much. Question is where to look. A 20 clue is a minimum of, well, I don't have an 8 available anymore. So 7, 6, 5, it's a minimum of 4 digits, I think. 7, 6, 5, 4, because 7, 6, 5 is only 18. So it's a minimum of 4 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these digits, so if I started here and counted 1, 2, 3, 4, because 7, 6, 5, and 4, 7, 6, 5, does it have to be 5 digits? Well, I've got 35 out and this is already 11. Yeah, I need to have one more digit outside at least. So it can't be these, because if it was these 2 digits would need to sum to 15. So there's at least one more digit outside. Can I do, these are 11. So I need 4 digits summing to 4, and I need a 4 outside because I need to get the sum outside to 15 and I'm already at 11. So I need more digits summing to 4 outside of the sandwich clue. But if the sandwich clue was here, and I can only do 4. I can't use 1, 3, or 2, 2. It has to be a single 4. And I can't put a 4 here because of this 4. So this has to be the 4 that is outside the sandwich clue. And these must be the bread of the sandwich. And these, therefore, must sum to... so if these would be the 2... Just to prove it, these would be the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 5 is 7, plus 7 is 14, plus 6 is 20. So that proves that that's the way it works. I don't need to pencil mark that though. Okay. Actually, that might be useful because 2, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, that could be a 7. I don't think that can be a 6 though, because if this is a 6, this would need to be a 1 in order for that to be a 1. So this can't be a 6, but 5, 2 or 2, 5 could work. So all it's proven is that can't be a 6. Okay. This 15 cage might be interesting, mightn't it? Okay, where do I look? Where do I look? I don't have any information on this row. Digits summing to 7 outside. That could be a 7, that could be a 1. It's probably Sudoku I've missed, you know. This 15 cage could be interesting. Not seeing how to use it. I can see 2 is in one of those by Sudoku. 4 is in one of those by Sudoku. Oh, this is definitely not a sandwich sum, but that could be a 1, couldn't it? Where's the 4? So how do you do 4? You can only do 4 with a single 4. So this can't be a sandwich clue because then I would because somewhere in here I've got a 9, a 4, and a 1 in a run, and I can't put a 4 here. So this can't go 9, 4, 1. So this can't be a sandwich sum. So somewhere in here I need to go 9, 4, 1 in some order. And I can't put a 4 here, so this can't be a sandwich sum. So there's a 4 in one of those two. That's interesting. 1, 4, 9 could work, but there's a 4 in one of those two, which puts a 4 in one of those two. 1, 4, 9 would make that a 7. If I put 1, 4, 9 in here, this becomes 3, 5. But I can't put 9 here, and I can't put 9 here. This is a 4, 9 pair, which means 1 is here or here. That's really cool. But that's a 4, 9 pair, which means 9, yeah, 9 is in one of those two. Of course it is, because none of these can be bread or crust. I will probably mix those terms up. This could be 1 or this could be 1. If this was a 9, how would I do this? Theoretically, I could put the 1 in the 15 cage and push those up. Actually, the 26 is probably where I'm looking now, isn't it? Because the minimum you can do 26 in, I can't do 26 in 2 cells. So if it was here, yeah, the minimum I can do 26 in, and I've already looked at this similar with the 28, is 8, 7, 6 is only 21. If I add 5, I get to 26, minimum of 4. So these all cannot be part of it. So there is a 1 down here, and this is not it. And this must be the 9, because I can't make these together. That just doesn't work. These must be part of the sandwich sum. So this isn't the 9. This is the sandwich 9. This isn't. There must be a 1 and a 9 in there. And I don't, yeah, that can't be it. This can't be a 1 or a 9 because of this 21 clue. If this was a 1, 9, that would have to be the 14 to add to 21 in all of those cells, and that doesn't work. That's not a 1 or a 9. This is a green cell. This is a 1, 9 pair, which I can mark as yellow. Now, now 21, I could do in 3 cells, 8, 7, 6. But there is 1 in here. 25. Ooh, I could do 10 in 3 cells, but it does mean that there's 1 in here. But, oh, hang on, 21, the minimum of 21 is 3. Those are definitely not involved. There is a 1 or a 9 in here, and there's a 1 or a 9 in here. I can't put 1 in here because the 25 has to be at least 4 cells. 8, 7, 6 doesn't get me there. It has to be, so these are definitely not including 1 and 9. So these are definitely not including 1 or 9 because I need 1 in here, and that'll be the second one in the box. Ooh, this is very cool. Probably not doing brilliantly at this, I have to admit. So this 11, it can't be 9, 2. But it could be almost everything else. Oh, wait a minute. This 11 means that the next digits have to sum to 14. Oh, that could work. So the digits outside the 11 cage have to sum to 14. But I could do 14 in 2. I couldn't if that's a 2, but I could do 14 in 2 digits, or I could do 14 in 3 digits. I'm not seeing that. 13 has to be done in at least 2. Could I do 13? Yeah. If that's a 1, that's a 9, and then the 9 is down here. That seems to work. I think I've missed something. Is it this 8 cage? Yeah, there's a 1 in one of those. There is a 1 or a 9 in one of those. There's a 1 or a 9 in one of those. Hang on a minute. If this is a 9, I don't think that could be a 9. If that's a 9, this becomes green. I can't do 18 in 2 digits, so this would become green. And then those 2 digits, right, this can't be a 9. That's really clever. If this was a 9, this would become green, because if this was the 1, then that wouldn't work. Now, so if this is a 9, this can't be, this has to be included in the sum. This is included in the sum. And then I couldn't end it here because I can't do 18 in 2 cells because the maximum is 87, which is 15. So this gets included in the sum. And once this is included in the sum, all of those are included in the sum, which means that those 2 cells have to sum to 3, but I couldn't use the 1. So the minimum is 2, 3, which is 5, and the minimum there is 20. So this can't be the 9. That's the 4, that's the 9. That's very cool. And if that's the 4, that's the 1. Which means this isn't 1, 7, this is 3, 5, which means that becomes green. And what I haven't placed in the row is 6 and 7. That's very cool. Now, I can actually mark off clues I've done as well. I've done the 4, I've done the 32, I've done the 28. Haven't done the 13 yet, haven't done the 25, haven't done the 26, haven't done the 18. I've done the 20 because I've got all the outies. Haven't done the 28, haven't done the 21. Okay, so that's all I've done so far. Maybe I should be practicing these puzzles before to present them better, but I want to solve them. So the 13 here. Right, where's the 1 in this row? It has to be here. That has to be the 1 because I can't put another 1 in. Whoops, wrong color. I can't put another 1 in here. These just became green. So these sum to 13. Well, they're not 9, 4. They could be 8, 5 or 7, 6. I'm not sure. But there's a 20 here. There's a 20 here. Well, I can't do 20 in 2. So, right. I can't, this has to be green because I can't do 20 in 1 cell. I can't do 20 in 2 cells. So this become green. So there's a 1 down here. So it's at least 5 cells. And if this is an 8, these would have to sum to 12. But there's an 18 here. Right, so this can't be it because that cell would have to be an 18. This is green. And now this clue is 15 and I need digits down here that sum to 3. And the only way to do a 3 is a 3 on its own because I can't use 1, 2. And this becomes the 9 and this is green. Now I don't have anything in this row, but it does mean 9 is in one of those 2. Can that be a 9? Yeah, I don't know anything about that column. But these now become green because the 9 is in one of those 2 and the 1 is in one of those 2. I've done the 4. I haven't done, oh, this is now the 21. Oh, these are the 1 9s. This is a 1 9 pair. And there's 1 in here. It's either a 9 here or a 1 here. Don't know which. If that's, oh, this can't be a 1. The 1 has to be up here. This is a 9. This is a 1. This is a 9. This is a 1. This is a 9. This is a 1. This is not the 9. This is green. There is a 1 in here. Still could be a 7, I think. So these sum to 15. Okay, now there's a trick about 15 cages. A 15 cage must either have one low digit, 1, 2, 3, one middle digit, 4, 5, 6, and one high digit, 7, 8, 9, or it must be all middle. And the reason for that is because of the way that the math works. If you include two low digits, even the two highest low digits, 2 and 3, you'd need a 10, doesn't work. If you include two high digits, even the two lowest high digits, 7 and 8, the next digit you would need a 0, it doesn't work. And if you include any two middle digits, then you automatically get the third middle digit. 4, 5 needs 6, 4, 6 needs 5, and 5, 6 needs 4. Now, I can't make this 4, 5, 6, so I have to put a low digit in here. There must be a 2 in here. There's a 9 in here, by the way. Oh, that's not the 9. That's the 9. So this is green. Oh, this is the one in the column. This is not the one. Let's do some more Sudoku, shall we? That's important. And now this sums to 28. So this cell, my mouse is not working correctly. These are not 7. And the 28 clue is now done. These sum to 21. So these have to sum to 14. So there is a 2 in here and then two digits that sum to 13. Well, they're not 9, 4. They could be 8, 5 or 7, 6. Okay. Well, the way to think about this column, right, this can't be the 1. If this is the 1, then this digit would need to make the difference between 20 and 35, and that would need to be a 15. That's the 1. That's the 1. These are not 1. These become the 1s. Wow, what is up with my mouse? These all become green, and once I've got all the 1s and the 9s coloured, I find it easier to just turn off the green. There's all my crusts. So these two digits need to sum to 15, and they can't be 6, 9. Those are 7, 8. So this can't be a 7 or an 8, and these have to sum to 13. So if this is a 5, this is an 8, and if this is a 6, that's a 7. Where's 3 in this box? That's the 3, that's the 5. That's been there for a while. So 3 is now here in box 1. Haven't yet completed this, but I feel close. 21, meaning those need to sum to 14. I'd like some more. Right, here we go. Right, yes. These need to sum to 25, but those sum to 11, so those need to sum to 14. If that was a 2, that would be a 12. If that was a 2, that would be a 12. Neither of those are a 2. That can't be a 2 either. So 2 is in those. So where can I put 2 in this row? I can't put it in any of those. I can't put it in any of those. It has to be in one of those 2. That is not a 2. So these digits sum to 10. So it's 2 and then 2 more digits that sum to 8. Well, I can't use 1, 7. I can't use 2, 6. It's 3, 5. It's 3, 5. So these digits are 2, 3, 5. So these digits here are 2, 3, and 5 because they need to sum to 10 without using a 1. I could have just done that by how do you get to 10 without using a 1? It's 2, 3, 5. That's a 2, 5. That's a 2, 3, 5. There's no 2, 3 there. That's the 5. That's the 2. That's the 3. There's no 2 there. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I was hoping that that would interact somehow, but I'm not seeing it. But how do I do this 11 now? Because I can't use 9, 2. I can't use 8, 3. I could use 7, 4. I can't use 5, 6. This is 7, 4. And these digits are 6 and 8. And this cage now, if it's 2, 8, I'd need a 5. If it's 2, 6... 2 and 6 is 8, and I'd need a 7, and I don't have it. If this was 2, 6, they would sum to 8. I'd need another 7, and I can't do it. So this isn't a 6. This is an 8, and this now is 2, 5. That's brilliant. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 3 and 6. These two digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 7, 8 in here means that's the 6. That's the 7. That's the 8. That's the 7. That's the 8. There's no 8 there. The 6 makes that the 5. This is the 2 that hasn't been placed. The 7 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 7. This column is missing its 2. These are 4, 5, and 6. There's no 4 there. This is 25, but I've already got 19, so that's a 6. I could have just done it by Sudoku, but this is a sandwich Sudoku pack. Let's pay attention to the sandwich. There's a 2 in one of those two. What's the triple in the top row? 4, 5, and 8. So that's a 5 because it sees 4 and 8, and this is 4 and 8. There's an 8 in one of those two, but I don't know how that's helping me yet. So which of these clues have I now done? The 18 is done because 15 plus 3. The 20 is done because 11 plus 9. Yep, I already had that marked. Right, the 26. Well, I mark off the 25 is done. I can mark off the 13 is done. I can mark off the 20 is done. I can't mark off the 21 is done yet, but the 26 is giving me something because these digits sum to 26. So those digits have to sum to 35 minus 26, which is 9. So they're 5 and 4. This is 8. So the 26 is now done. And that means this is a 4 by Sudoku. Okay. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they must contain a 5. There's no 7 there. So the only clue I haven't done is this 21 clue. These need to sum, right, here we go. These need to sum to 21. So these need to sum to 14 to get to 35, and we've got a 4. So these need to sum to 10. So it'd be 6, 4, which it can't be, 7, 3, or 8, 2. So this is only 2 or 3. Oh, the 6 means that's not a 6. So that's a 7, 8 pair. So this is a 2, 3 pair. That's very cool. So I know what this pair is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 7 and 8. And the 7 is making that the 8 and that the 7. That's this 7 looking across. So there's no 7 here. This is a 5, 6 pair. So now, the only clue I haven't used is the 21. There was probably a faster way through this puzzle, but I'm having fun. Where is 3 in row 9? Can't put it in, yeah, it has to be in one of those two, and that 3 says not there. That's the 3. So this is 5 or 6. That gives me a 5, 6 pair. So these are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Well, there's no 2 or 8 there. That's the 4, taking 4 out of those. The 4 looks across, taking 4 out of those. The 5, 6 pair makes that the 4. Huh. Okay. Maybe I'm being blind. Is there a clue I've missed? I don't know. So in this box, where is 4 in this box? It has to go in one of those two. The 4 is looking up. That's the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Wow. Huh. Oh, 7, 8 makes that the 6, which makes that the 7, which makes that the 6, which looks down making that the 5, which makes that the 6, which looks across making that the 5, which makes that the 6, which looks across making that the 5, making that the 6. Now, does that do anything more? These are now 2 and 7. So this is 2, 7, or 8. This is either 8-2 or 7-3. If this is 8-2, that's 7. If this is 7-3, I don't know. What's the trick I've missed? Because these are... Oh, hang on. There's no 2 there. These are 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no 5 here. This is the 5, right. So these are just 6, 7, 8. The 5 makes that the 2, which makes that the 5. The 2 looks across making that the 3 and that the 2. And now these, which had those 2 digits, had to sum to 10. So that's the 8, that's the 7. That completes the 21 clue. It was Sudoku I was missing. Put your hand up if you're surprised. No one put their hand up. This is the 8. This is the 7. This is the 6. This is the 3. This is the 6. The 7 looks up making that the 2 and that the 7. The 2 looks down making that the 8 and that the 2. And that is a half-hour solve of Starter Course by FullDeck and missing a few cards. Now, I was trying to explain everything I was doing. Yeah. Hopefully you found that one interesting. I think this was a little bit easier than I gave it credit for, but or at least that I struggled a little, but that's what happens sometimes. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. I hope you're enjoying the pack so far. I think there's a lot of amazing puzzles coming, and if I took this long on this one, I'm really worried about some of the hard ones, but hopefully you're going to have a really good time enjoying a sandwich feast with all of us. And, you know, as it's kind of planned. Is there anything better than Slice Sudoku? The best thing since Slice Sudoku, I think, is what we were aiming for. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.